Hi, Cheryl and Rise. Welcome. Good to see you, folks. All right. Hi, Dory. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, everybody. Good evening. I am Barbara Reed, the Wexford Stamper. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in very snowy Pennsylvania. So thank you for joining this evening. And as you come in, make sure you comment, hi Barbara, and let me know that you're here. I appreciate everybody that jumps on for my Facebook Lives. Today, I'm going to be making some projects using some of the free papers. It's celebration time. I know most of you know that. And there are some fabulous papers that we are able to get free during celebration. So I wanted to just show you some neat projects that I came up with using the beautiful floral papers, and as well as a die set and a couple of stamp sets, but you might have something around that you could use in substitute if you would want to. So as I get started here, I want you to remember that all the instructions and hey Jean, all the instructions and this video tutorial will be kept and put on my blog. And my blog is www.thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com, and all the information will be there. And I also have a YouTube channel, and just search for the Wexford Stamper, and I have lots of great inspiration videos there as well. And please, if you haven't already, please like my business page, the Wexford Stamper. I have two pages. One, I have a group, which is the VIP group. Many of you are in that, and that's when I put up all my ideas and specials and things. And then I have a business page, and it is the Wexford Stamper. And I would appreciate so much if you would like me on that one as well. So just a couple commercials here at the beginning, but let me go ahead and I'm going to show you what products we are going to be using this evening for our projects. All right, the two papers that we are going to be using, the first one for the first project is, hi Jerry, is the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. And believe it or not, this is a free paper. If you spend $50 on Stampin' Up! Product, you can get this paper free. So I have gotten this paper. It is gorgeous, and I've come up with a really, really cute project that I'm sharing with you today. Another one that I'm going to be using is the Flower and Fields Designer Series paper. Gorgeous paper. I love it because it's all on a black background, and it just pops and looks gorgeous on your projects. So that is one I will be using as well. I will be using another fun hidden gem that I have just come across, and they are called the Pierced Blooms dies. Yep, that's it. The Pierced Blooms dies. Look at the number of dies you get in this set. Is that not amazing? Hi Diane, welcome. I just am so tickled with this die set. I'm going to use it for both, hey Mary, for both my projects this evening, but it is a super, super die set to have around. Now it does come with a bundle, the In Bloom stamp set, which I have also, but I did not use the stamp set at all for either of these projects. I just really focused on the dies. Alrighty, so those are the products for the most part that I will be using. And remember, when this is over, there will be a PDF on my website, on my blog, that you did, I know, I love this set, Cheryl, that you can download and print, that has all the information and measurements, etc. for both projects. So I'm super excited to get started, and let's go ahead and get started. And there is Renee. Hello, Renee. All righty, here we go. Let me grab our projects here first. These are the projects we will be making this evening, and I bumped that one and knocked off the flower, but you can get the idea here. This is the first project we're going to be working on, and this uses the, what's the name of the paper? Paper Blooms paper. Oh my goodness, was doing so well there. And this uses those die cuts that I was talking about. I brought in some other different stamp sets, but you can always find something to use. But the fun thing about this card is I designed it and it has a little hinge in here, so you can add extra pages. You could actually probably use it as like a little scrapbook too. But I made this design because I work a volunteer job, and somebody came to me and said, it's somebody's birthday, could you make a birthday card for them? And for them, there would need to be a lot of space on the card. So I thought, oh, I could make a gigantic card, or I could make a card with lots of pages. So that's what I went with for this one. So I will show you how to make this. The hinge is very simple to make, and I will go from start to finish on this. So let's go ahead and get started with this one first. All right. Now there's lots of pieces, lots of cardstock and designer series paper for this, but I will work you through it. And remember, all these things will be on my my blog, so don't worry about trying to get any of these dimensions. Now here is the set in the flesh. Look at the number of dies in this thing. I can't even fit them all on this magnet. Just so pretty. Just beautiful, beautiful. And I really fell in love with it because of the stitching. I love stitching on all the little labels and everything. And when I saw these stitched flowers, I was all on board with this. So this is the whole set, kind of, so you can get a look at it. And let's go ahead and grab all my pieces here. All right, we'll put them up there. Okay. Yes, all right, yes, this is the hinge, Jean. This is gonna be so easy. You're gonna be so excited that you'll be able to make it. All right, we start our card. Now I'm gonna be using different colors because I've actually ran out of this color of paper. So I'm going to be using a lighter paper from the Paper Blooms, but it's going to be gorgeous anyway. All right, so we're going to actually start with a card base that is the standard size card base that we always have when we are making a card. So that's kind of fun that doesn't change at all. So that piece is 8.5 by 5.5. And then we're just going to fold it right on the score line, just like we would with a standard card. All right, so then we're going to put that aside, and now we're going to go ahead and make the hinge. All right, so you're going to pick the paper that you like the best, whatever color you like, and this piece of paper is 10 inches by 5.25 inches. Okay, I'm going to grab my scoring board and bring it right up here. And we're going to do some scoring just to create the score lines to make the hinge. Okay, let's see. The first place we score is at 4 inches, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. All right, so it's kind of in half intervals from 4 to 6. All right, and we're going to go ahead and take this away. That's all we needed with that. Let me put this under here so I don't knock it over. All right, now I'm going to go ahead, and the first thing I'm going to do is fold this paper in half, and that will fold on the third score line that we made. Okay, then we're going to do a little bit of zigzagging or mountain folds. I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but we're going to fold back and forth on the score lines. Okay, so what I did here is, this is the first fold. This fold I folded the opposite way, and then this fold was the opposite of that. Now I'm going to go forward and do the same thing again. This fold is a valley, so I'm going to go ahead and make a mountain, and then I'm going to make another valley. Okay, and I want to go ahead and make sure that these are all well folded. All right, so let me hold this up sideways here. So I basically made like the letter M. Everybody see that? That's the letter M. Okay, so now we're ready to make our hinge. So let's grab our card base. This I use is Knight of Navy. And this is going to just go right in here. And we're going to adhere it to the paper. And we're going to make sure that we adhere it just like it was the piece of paper that we would be adhering to the front of a card, so that we have that nice little border around on both sides. All right, so let's do on this side first. Okay, now I'm not going to be putting any adhesive inside our hinge. Okay, we're going to stay away from those score lines. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take some of my Tombow, and I'm going to cover either one of the large panels. Doesn't matter which one you start with. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue it down so that I have a nice border around the top, the side, and the bottom, just like it was a card. Okay, now what's going to happen is you're going to take your other panel, okay, so you're going to fold in your little M or your mountain, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to put your adhesive on the second panel. Oh, good, Jerry. I'm glad. I try. All right. Must be those years of working with third graders, huh? All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this down just like this, and I'm going to fold the card closed and just push it down. Okay. Now, when you let the card open, you'll notice you have your little hinge. That's how easy that is. So now we have our hinge ready. Now let's take a look at the card we have here. Now here's our hinge. So the next step is putting the panels inside for our pages. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pages, and I'm going to do mine with the Rococo Rose. Okay, and let me look at the size of the inside pieces here. 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so that's these sizes, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere those on the inside of our mountain. So one's going to go on this side of the mountain and one on this side. Okay, so let me get I would recommend using some kind of liquid glue with this. I just think things stay a little better. Okay, I'm going to put liquid glue there. Then I'm going to adhere it to this side, just about up to the fold, but then you want to make sure that you have a nice border around there, and just push that down. Okay, same thing on the other side. I'm going to put a little bit of glue along the edge, and I'm going to turn it this way. My right hand works better. Going to do the same exact thing. Put it almost up to the fold, and then make sure you have a nice border around, equal border around both ends. Not ends, but the top and the bottom. I want to pull it out here a little bit. It's a little too close to my border. And that's another great thing about the Tombow. Gives you a little time to move stuff around. There we go, that's better. I'm going to push that down. All right, so there you have it. There is your 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the next thing we do is we're going to put some designer series paper on each of those pages. Okay, just to jazz it up a bit. And then we'll go ahead and work on the front. That's when we get to bring in the amazing dies. All right, so here we go. I am just putting this on here. It goes a little bit onto our binding, and then you want to make sure you have a little bit of a border all the way around. This is such beautiful paper. This Rococo Rose is just lovely. And to think that this is free paper is just amazing to me. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to put this one here. Notice it does overlap onto our little hinge a little bit, but that's okay as long as it doesn't cross where the fold is. All right, and putting all this paper and then the designer series paper really makes it very strong and sturdy. So this is really going to help. If you decide to, you make one and you decide to make it like a little scrapbook, it would work fabulous for that. You could put pictures in it, anything like that. Okay, and then the last one here. Let's get this. You want to make sure you have your nice border around top and bottom, and then it may overlap your hinge, no worries. All right, so there we have it. We have all our inside, the guts of it done. Okay, we're going to do some decorating inside, but the guts are finished. All right, let's get back to our first page. Not our first page, but our front cover. I like to do a front and back cover. If you look at mine here, my finished one, I have the front and the back. I just think that looks so much prettier. So these are for the front and the back. These are cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then these designer series paper panels are cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And they'll go right inside there. Okay. Barb, this now yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's a great idea for that, Jean. That's a really good idea. All right. Yeah, I loved the idea just because I knew there were going to be more than 20 people that had to sign this card. So I knew that it had to either be a gigantic card, which I'm not really crazy about making the huge cards, or it would be one with lots of pages. So I went with lots of pages, and I just love how it turned out. So now I'm going to go ahead and put that on the front. Look at that pretty paper. Love it. And then I'm going to turn it over and put this panel on the back. So lots of gluing and scoring, and now we're going to get to do a little bit of stamping, and I'll get to show you all the beautiful dies. That is true. This would be a great Mother's Day card. You could put in pictures and write a little note, so it just gives you lots of different options, and the paper is perfect for Mother's Day. All right, let's take a look at what we need to do for the front. All right. I'm going to do the same as I did for the other one, and I'm going to use this die, but you can use anything that you have in your stash. This one is not in the pierced blooms, but it is in one of my favorites, the Hippo and Friends. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. I'm going to grab my sentiment. The sentiment is birthdays are the best days, because we'll make this a birthday card, and that comes from the Friendship stamp set, which I thought I had. Oh, hold on. Let me show you these so you'll know exactly where I got the sentiments from. Beautiful Friendship is the one I use for the front, and then on the inside I use Wishing You Much Happiness Today and Always from So Sentimental. But you can kind of find what you have in your stash, and if it's a birthday card or whatever you need. Okay, let's go ahead, and I'm going to stamp using, Let's try that again. Someone needs to clean up their blocks a little bit. All right, let's get that in the center. There we go. Birthdays are the best days. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that in here, and I'm going to go right with dimensionals and put that right in the center. Okay, and then we're going to kind of decorate around it with the pretty flowers. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put that right in the center of our card front. All right, now here we go. This is the good part. Okay, now what I did is I tried to take the same flower color scheme that is on this card. Now for this card, okay, I noticed that the leaves were that soft sea foam, but for this card, the leaves are in navy blue. So I made the leaves navy blue as well. Now here are my die cuts, but look how cute these are. So I went with the soft sea foam. I'm sorry, this is Seaside Spray. And this is the Rococo Rose. And then I wanted maybe some white flowers. And then I also had the Blushing Bride. So these were the color palette for this paper. And then I have my insides that are navy blue. And then here are some of the leaves that are in the Night of Navy. So what you basically do is cut out a bunch of all the different types of flowers that you like. And see, this is that multi-leaved little thing like right here. So you might want to add that as well. Okay, so those are the ones that I cut out. So very easily, and this, I like the layout here. I put a large flower here and then 3 smalls. So I'm going to kind of stick with that. And I think I'm going to use the Rococo Rose flower. And I always like to bend it a little bit to give it a little bit of dimension. Put a dimensional on the back. And I'm going to put this one right at the bottom, right there, near between the S and the Y. Okay. Now I'm going to use this one. Let's see, I'll use a white. And let's use the Seaside Spray. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and just kind of bend them up a little bit to give them a little bit of depth. I know, aren't they so cute, Joanne? I love the stitching on them. That's what caught my eye, and I said, I love this. I've got to use these. They're just so pretty and happy. All right, so down here, I'm going to put the Blushing Bride, and then up here along the edge, let's put one of the Seaside Spray. And then we'll put a white one over there because there was a couple of white flowers on it as well. And the way you can tell as far as what colors are used for the designer series paper, when you open the pack, there's always a piece of cardboard in the back. And on the back of that cardboard, it lists all the coordinating colors. So you don't have to do any guessing. All right, I'm going to use this cute little center for the larger, but you can use it for either. Aren't these so cute? Even the centers are stitched. These tiny little centers have stitching around them. Then I'm just going to go ahead and take my little centers and put them in. How quickly you can build a beautiful front on your card. But I tried to stick with the color scheme as best I could, because it looks nicer. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a couple of leaves in here. Okay, so these are just tucked. So I'm going to go ahead and put just a tiny little bit of glue on the back and then just do a little tuck right here. Okay. And then let's see. I'll maybe put that on the inside. Let's just do another single leaf on here. And then we do a little tuck. maybe I'll tuck him up here. Let's see. This is always the hardest part for me to decide where I want to put the little leaves. I think I'm going to stick with up here. There we go. All right. So there is our front finished. Okay. How quick and easy that is to do. Now let me show you what I did on the inside. Okay. I'll show you here. I put a white panel on each of the pages, and then I put a little flower, okay, that you can decorate, and then you have plenty of space for writing or pictures, okay, whatever you think you would like. All right, so let's go ahead. I have the panels here. And let's see. For the first panel, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the birthday greeting. Ooh, Hannah's cooking me some cookies if I do a good job. All right, wishing you much happiness today and always. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that towards the center, right there. Then I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to put the other panels on while we're waiting. But this is really, you know, whatever you decide for your book or your card to look like, you can, you know, make your pages look that way. You could even maybe put pockets on the inside if you wanted to do little things with pockets. Yep, it is. It is a wow card, but it's so simple to make. Don't tell them your secret, though. They'll just be so impressed. All right, so there's our inner. And what I'm going to do is just going to grab one flower, put some glue on the back, put that at the bottom, another flower, put the glue on the back, and I'm going to put that one up there. Okay. Now you could also put a little leaf in there if you like. It's really up to you, whatever you are feeling. Okay, I'm gonna, I know there's two of them here if I can get them apart. There we go. All right, and there is the inside. I love the shape of these flowers. I feel like a little 70s vibe. I don't know, maybe I'm all wet, but there, see, we can put little flowers there with your message or with your pictures. Now let's go ahead and put this. This is the one I put the message on. This is the same design I used for the birthday card for my friend at New Hope. So there you can have a message, maybe a couple of signatures, and then you can go on and put more signatures down. And let me put the final panel in the back. And that's it. That's how quick and easy that is. Isn't it really fun? And you know how beautiful all the designer series papers are for Stampin' Up. You could probably find something just totally gorgeous that you could use if you didn't have this free paper, but hopefully you have this free paper. Okay, just gorgeous. They do such a beautiful job with their floral paper. All right, this is our last little flower, and then that is it for our hinged fun fold card. That's what we're going to call it, our hinged fun fold card. Remember, all the information will be on my blog. There will be a PDF to download, so don't worry about trying to get all those specific dimensions. So there we go. There it is, all finished. How about that? Pretty nice? Yep. All right, well, let's go ahead and move this away. We've got one more little project. You know I wasn't going to let you go without a 3D project. And that's what we have. Let me grab my sample here and show you. And I'm going to glue this one right back on in my rush to get ready. I trashed my 3D project. There we go. So these are the little, these would be great for Valentine's Day, a quick and easy project. These I use the Field and Flowers, or Flower and Field, I'm not sure which it is. I always get mixed up, but this is another freebie. Let me grab, this is the little celebration brochure that has the free paper. Yep, here's the one that we're going to be working with now, Flower and Field. Okay, this is a freebie with a $50 order. And then the one that I just finished with, the Paper Blooms, is right here as a freebie with a $50 order. So either of them are beautiful options. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put those over there. This is a real quick and easy one. This would be one that you could make lots and lots if you have friends that you want to put these together for Valentine's Day. All right, let me go ahead and put my flower up there. I already have that all die cut out. All right, let me check and see what our dimensions are for this. And before we do that, I will bring in the treat. Because what would a treat box be without a really great treat? And these are Ghirardelli chocolate duet hearts. So they're little pieces of chocolate, but they're shaped like hearts, and then they come in different flavors and everything. So I thought that was a little different. Other than the square Ghirardelli squares, this would be kind of a neat thing to do. And hey, you can get 2 of them in a box. So hey, can't be all bad. All right, so we're going to start with some black cardstock, mostly because all these papers have black as their background. And it really, really helps the paper pop if you use the black paper. All right, let's go ahead and grab my scoring board. Let me take a look here on my notes. Okay, this piece of basic black cardstock is cut at 3.5 by 4 7/8. Okay, remember, don't worry, you'll have all this information on my blog if you need it. On the long side, we are going to score at 1.5 and 1 7/8. Then we're going to turn it on the short side, score at 3/8 and 3 1/8. And that's it. That is it. Okay, so let me put this back under here. Okay, I'm going to grab my bone folder. We're going to crease on all these score lines. Just 4 quick score lines here, super simple. Okay. Now, yes, Walmart has them, Target has them, Weiss has them. I've been to all of them. I go everywhere I go, I'm scouting the candy. So now, what you're going to do is, if you hold it in the landscape position, you're just going to cut on both sides of the little tiny square. You'll notice that there is a square that's made out of the score lines. You're just going to cut up to the first horizontal, so you're just going to make these tiny little flaps on both sides. Okay, now before we glue the box together, I like to put the designer series paper on. So for this box, we're going to go with a different pattern. Now this one, I also put it on the back as well, so this is just a gorgeous paper. I love that one. And then this one had the beautiful dark blue and the I can't think of the name of the green, but it's pretty. But now this one's more of a daisy type. So I'm going to try to coordinate my flowers with this paper. Before I put my box together, let's go ahead and put these panels on the box. Now remember, all the dimensions for these panels and everything will be on my blog. And if you are just jumping in, there will be a PDF there that you can download as well. And I will be posting this video tutorial on my blog. All right, so there's the first one. That's the inside piece that gets mostly covered by the chocolate, but we like to have a nice piece of the floral paper in there. Now this one is going to go right here on the back. And then this is going to be the part that comes up on the front. So we're going to go ahead and put this on here. Now this paper, it's not an issue, but if you have a directional paper, you want to make sure you're putting it the right way. But this one, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so there we have all our paper put on. And now we're going to go ahead and put it together. Now what we're going to do first is I'm going to fold in these tiny little flaps. And I'm just going to put a little dot of glue on each of those. Very tiny amount. We don't need much for those. Okay. Then I'm going to put glue on the inside of this bottom flap. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold it up so that the tiny little flaps, tabs go inside, and then our flap comes up and wraps around the outside. Okay, so I hold it a little bit till the glue gets a little bit dry. Then I'm going to grab my bone folder and go inside to make sure that flap lays down on the inside. Turn it over, do the same thing over here. And there you have it. Look how easy that is to make. Super, super simple. All right, now what I do with the top here is I just cut off the corners. Okay, just to give it a little more of a cleaner line there. I just cut off the corners. Now let's grab a couple of these lovely candies. I'm glad I'm having my Facebook Live this evening because my husband has been eating them and we're almost out. But he says he doesn't like the creme brulee ones, so I knew those would be left. But there we go. 2 of them fit in there quite easily. I'm thinking maybe a Ghirardelli square would fit in there pretty nicely as well. All right, now to go along with our, I got 2 of these. To go along with our daisy pattern, I am going to use a little white flower cut out using those adorable stitched dies. They're not stitched, they're pierced blooms is the name of it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that right here to the left-hand side. And then of course my daisy needs a little yellow center. I believe I used crushed curry for that one. And then I'm going to use this cute little leaf here. If you look on here, the leaf is granny apple green. So I cut out this leaf. This is like a double leaf. Look at the little stitching for the veins. So, so cute. And I'm going to cut that off a little bit there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back, and then I'm just going to do a tuck. Okay, I'm just going to tuck it in behind right there. Okay, very simple. All right, last step, we're going to use the thank you. This is from the Fine Arts stamp set, but I'm sure you could find a thank you in your stash somewhere. Oh, I miss you. Hold on. I pulled the wrong one. That's not good. All right, this is the stamp set, and I grabbed the wrong one. Oh, please don't tell me it's missing. All right, where are you? I miss you. I don't see it. Oh, it's under my finger. Yes, it's under my finger. All right, I found it, guys. All right, let's try that again. Take 2. Gonna bring in my memento ink and my little thank you, and gonna stamp that right on there. I'm going to use my scissors, cut a cute little banner, and then I'm just gonna slide that right in here under the flower, and I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. And that's how quick and easy that is. Oh, thank you, Jean. I'm glad you like them. I'm having so much fun playing with this paper. In fact, next week I'm going to do 2 more projects using the celebration paper. So tune in again next week, Tuesday evening. I'll have some other great projects. All right, so there you have it. There is the adorable little treat holder. And then we have our card. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be glad to help you in any way. Make these projects. If you are interested in any of the products that I used tonight, you can go on my blog and there is a link to my online store that you can go ahead and buy any of these products. Thanks so much for joining me this evening. And please tune in again next Tuesday. I will have some more fun projects to share with you using the beautiful celebration freebie paper. So take care. Have a wonderful week. Stay warm. Bye-bye.